Welcome to the Prioritize You podcast, your go-to for connection and support in your journey of prioritizing your health in the chaos of motherhood. I'm your host, Brittany, health, fitness, and nutrition coach and mom of 3. I've navigated the depths of postpartum challenges, and through personal experience and 15 years of professional experience as a health and fitness coach, I was able to develop practical systems and frameworks to not only stay afloat, but to thrive physically and mentally. It's called the Prioritize You method. Say farewell to the pressures of perfection and restrictive routines. No more guilt, no more rigid regimens, no more burpees, just a compassionate space where self-love and sustainable practices are the goal. It's time to rediscover your energy, enthusiasm, and confidence as you take on the most kind and gentle journey of prioritizing you. Let's do this. I'm right here with you, promise. Okay, welcome back to the podcast, to you and me both. Honestly, it has been a little bit of a hiatus from the pod as of recently, and I'm super excited to be back. I cannot wait to get back to recording weekly episodes for you guys, and I am kind of pumped for today's episode, truthfully, because this is going to be one that I feel like will relate for a lot of people, just because when we have kids, there's so many changes all the time. Like every season, we go through just like so many adjustments and changes. When kids start school, it's like a brand new routine and schedule. When like summer hits, it's a brand new routine and schedule. When any little thing changes, things change all over the place. And so today's episode is all about creating a new routine for a new schedule. Now, this is a little bit of a life update as well, because this is what I'm going through right now. Like, I'm literally going through a schedule and routine update because I am going to be starting a new full-time job, and it actually starts on my birthday, which is April 7th, in case you are planning on getting me something. Just kidding. But I'm starting a new full-time job. So if you've been around for any length of time, you know that a couple years ago I got laid off and I got certified as a project manager. But I was also like pregnant at the time and, having my third kid, and like so much was going on. And I am now getting back into that. So I'm still going to have my coaching business on the side, which I always have, as I have for 15 years been running this business. And it's typically always been like a side hustle thing that I like, my passion project that I do with my time. And I will never stop doing this. But what I'm adding on then is I'm going to be working at a digital health tech company, doing like project management type of work. And I can't wait. It's exactly what I wanted to do 3 years ago. My goal was to get a project management style job at a digital health tech startup. And that's exactly what I got. 3 years later than I was hoping. But you know what? Everything works out for a reason. Like I said, I had an entire kid in that period of time. So clearly, like, I had a lot on my plate. I probably didn't need to like change career paths at that time. You know what I mean? Anyways, what is so like, here's the thing. With this new job, it's funny because all of the things that I'm excited about are also the things that like make me super anxious. So it's a hybrid role, which I'm pumped about. I cannot wait to get back to like working in person. I've been working at home for a very long time now, almost 5.5 years. I've been working at home and I love it. It's been great, but I am excited to get back to like in person, routines, get out of my house, all of that. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I will be working in the office about 15 minutes from where I live, which is great. It's not a super far distance. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be working from home, which is great because I'm going to still have that piece of the puzzle for me. If you are a mom, clearly you are. If you're listening to this, you know that like if you have any work from home capabilities or whatever, you know that on those days it's so nice because when you're taking your lunch break, you can unload the dishwasher or, you run to the bathroom and you throw a load of laundry in. Like, it's just so nice to have that component within your workday, right? Like, just to be able to like check some things off of the list. It can also be a burden, right? Because that laundry pile is looking at you while you work from home instead of being in the office. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind, a little bit, like as much as it can be as a mom. So, anyways, like I said, the things that I'm most excited about are also the things that I'm a little bit anxious about. But what I want to talk about mostly today is like the thoughts that I'm having when it comes to this very, very big change in my life and in my routine and in my schedule. So, the biggest thing that I'm going to be thinking about is like, how can I prioritize my schedule to still take care of me, right? Like, this is the Prioritize You podcast. How can I prioritize myself? Like, we are prioritizing us. We're prioritizing our health and wellness so that we can show up at work and as a mom and as a partner and as a human and as like our own best friend, right? Like, we need to put our own needs first so that we can do those things. So a couple things that I'm thinking about is like, how can I make sure that my schedule supports me? And how can I make sure that I am doing things and setting myself up for success? So the first thing that I'm doing is I had paused my gym membership because I was just working out from home because I'd had my kids home with me almost full time for the past like 3 or 4 months. And I was just basically getting my business back to the point where it was a little bit more like passive, not as like intensively like one-on-one with my clients. So I've been like in this transition phase for the last few months. So I've had my kids home with me so that I could kind of like create that that space to make my business kind of like run by itself a little bit more, if that makes sense. So I've got all my programs put together. They're in the app. They're, passive. You can sign up, you can do the things. So you can still do all of my programs still. It's just I don't have as many like opportunities to work like one-on-one with me, right? So if that has ever been something that you want to do, like definitely like DM me on Instagram or shoot me an email or, fill out my contact form on my website. But it is going to be very, very, very limited to work with me one-on-one now. I know I have a program for everybody if you're a working mom, but it just kind of depends on your needs, right? So anyways, let's move on. So this big change is going to be, like this new schedule and routine. So I'm like, all right, one of my biggest things is I want to be able to make sure that I'm working out during my day. I know for me, I am a morning person. Like if you have followed me at all over the course of the last couple of years, you know that because I have been like on and off of my 5 a.m. workout routine because of just life. But I am getting back to that. So this week, actually, I reactivated my gym membership so that I could get back to my like early morning workouts and kind of have that routine going so that I'm used to waking up in the morning. My body is back like into, lifting heavier weights or, just like the gym workouts. It's just different, right? So I wanted to get my body back into that routine and headspace. And, so what I'm going to be doing is on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays when I'm in the office, I'm going to be so I'm a member of Lifetime. It's way too expensive, but whatever. It's nice. It's safe, comparatively to other places. I don't know. But anyways, I am going to be working out at the Lifetime closer to my work on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be working out at the Lifetime that's closer to my house, which is going to be perfect. It's going to be great. And I will get up at the same time roughly every single day, get to the gym, work out, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'll just go straight to work. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will then come home, help get the kids, ready and off for their day. My husband is now going to be doing all morning drop-offs, which is amazing for me to just like know that like, that's going to be like all off of my list, all of my mental load. And then I'll be doing all pickups. So I'm going to be starting work early so that I can make sure that I'm home on time to get Olivia off the bus. I know that like once I am home with my kids for the night, I don't want to have to work out. I don't want that on my to-do list. I don't want that on my mind still. I want that to be done and over with. I'm also not the type of person, like I'm a huge advocate for working out during your workday, because I know for a lot of people that works really, really well, but I'm an even bigger advocate for like make it work for you. And so I fall into the make it work for you bucket, right? Where like I need to do it before I even start my work day. That's just what works for me. And so, yeah, that is what I'm doing. I want to make sure that, I have my lunch breaks to like eat slowly and mindfully and whatever. But yeah, speaking of lunch breaks, I'm going to need to prep snacks. And on Wednesdays, the company that I'm working for caters in a lunch every single Wednesday. And so I won't have to meal prep lunch that day, but I will on Mondays and Fridays. And then snacks and, my electrolytes and all the things that I need for my, I have pots, if you didn't know. So like my electrolytes and things like that I'll need, I'll have to have that like prepped and ready. And the other thing that I am like really trying to be mindful of as well is like my wellness and my headspace. So I'm thinking about like, okay, how can I make sure that like my evening routine sets me up for the mornings? Like I'm going to be getting up at 4:30 a.m. every single day. How can I make sure that I am like in bed by 8:30 every single night so that I get good amount of sleep for me? I know what amount of sleep is good for me, what I benefit off of most. And so for me, like being in bed and, well on my way to sleep by 8:30 is like the ideal situation so that I can get up at 4:30 and get my day started. But like, what do I need to set up the night before? I'm going to have my work clothes picked out. Like I'm 5. Yes, I am. I'm going to have like all of that packed. I'm going to have my lunch bag packed and ready to go the night before. I'm going to have my electrolyte, my workout drink mix, and then my electrolytes and all the things that I'll need during my day. I'm going to have that in my work bag already. Like all of these things are going to be prepped and ready ahead of time so that the next morning there's no stress, first of all, there's no overwhelm, and there's no excuse for me to skip my workout because that is like one of the biggest things that like I know for me, I will start negotiating like, oh, might as well just sleep in because like I don't even have my electrolytes made. No, I'm going to make sure that all of that is done the night before. And here's the thing, there's quite a list of things that I'm going to need to do the night before to set myself up for the morning. I'm literally going to have like a checklist in my room of like, or probably in the kitchen, I don't know, maybe I'll just have it on my phone of like electrolytes, workout drink mix, clothes set out, do you have underwear? Like all of the things, like I'm literally going to have a list. We are not too old or too mature or too wise to make ourselves a list of things that we need. It's only going to help and support you. And like, don't feel like, oh my God, I'm like inadequate because I can't remember to like pack a lunch, or I'm inadequate because I, forgot to pack my work bag. Well, if you didn't set yourself up in the way that you knew you needed to in order to make that happen, then like, what did you expect? You know what I mean? Like set yourself up in the way that you know you need it. And yeah, I just think that that's like insanely important always. So, yes, kind of circling back to all of this. Let me get into my like corporate zone. Circling back to piggyback off of that. Oh my God, I'm such a dork. But literally, I am just, yeah, like I mentioned, I'm anxious about things that I'm also excited about with like, which makes sense, right? Because anxiousness and excitement is kind of the exact same hormonal release experience in our body. It's just how we're interpreting it. And so, yeah, I'm just interpreting my excitement as anxiousness, which is fine. I went and got like a bunch of new clothes because I have not worked in an office ever. Like I've only ever worked somewhere where like leggings was the dress code, like leggings is the work uniform. And so now, business casual is my work uniform every single day. I went out and got some clothes that fit my current body that I know it's going to make me feel confident. By the way, I went to H&M and got like so much stuff and it was very affordable in my eyes. Yeah, like it was just great. So anyways, I am really looking forward to this. I want to share more of this journey of like how I'm transitioning into this. Because yeah, like a lot of my content was about like working from home and supporting your health and wellness through that. But now I'm going to have the added component of like working in the office and working at home. So if you are interested in like more of this like day-to-day working in the office content, let me know, because I just feel like it's going to be really helpful. And that's kind of what I've been leaning into, like when I'm looking for content online, is like, okay, what other like, healthy lifestyle people do I follow that like go to the office? Like I want to be inspired. And yes, so get ready for more like daily vlogs type of stuff, like how I support myself as like a working mom who, has a corporate job, but then is still like very passionate about health and wellness. So lots of stuff to come. Like I said, I'm very excited to be like getting back into the podcast and feeling like inspiration. I feel like I've had a lack of purpose in my heart as of recently, just like within this transition and in this change, but I feel like the spark is coming back. So yay to that. Likely has something to do with like the amount of sunshine that I'm now getting in my body, right? Like winter is just, it's rough, girl. It is rough. So we're back and I'm very excited and I cannot wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into the Prioritize You podcast. If you got something out of this episode, it would mean the world to me if you would screenshot this and share it on your stories or just share it with a friend. Just imagine if we could all prioritize our needs as moms. I just feel like the world would be a better place if moms were more well taken care of. And if you feel like, oh my God, Brittany, I need support like right now, I get it and I've got you. Go to my website and fill out the coaching application and let's get this process started. All right, I'll see you all on my Instagram between episodes. I'd love to hear from you. So send me a DM and let's chat about how you can start to prioritize you. And maybe I'll just create an episode around any questions that you might have. You can also leave a rating and review on iTunes. It really helps me get this message out there and connect with more moms who are in this same position as us. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next episode.